presentation will be on Plato's political philosophy, presented by Mallory Guthrie. Plato's biography. Plato lived during the classical era in Athens, Greece. His family was aristocratic and wealthy. Even when he was young, Plato was considered to be brilliant, which showed in his admiration for Socrates. Influenced by Socrates, Plato went on to create his own philosophies. Plato also established one of the earliest philosophical institutions, the Academy, in 380 BC. Here he met Aristotle, who he took as a student. The picture on the right is a portrayal of the Academy. Plato's works are organized into his early, middle, and late dialogues. His works are called dialogues because of his unique style of writing in direct form. In his dialogues, one speaker is often named Socrates. This may be due to the philosopher's impact on Plato. In Plato's middle and late works, although Socrates is still a main speaker, the ideas he speaks of are considered to be Plato's. Plato's political philosophy was written in his middle dialogues in the book The Republic. In the book, his main speaker searches for the true meaning of justice. After analyzing different interpretations, the speaker concludes that the answer to the question, "What is justice?" is difficult to grasp. Plato then chooses to discuss his ideal state. His ideal state is ruled by a philosopher king who is just. The philosopher king becomes just by balancing the three parts of his soul: the reason, the spirit, and the appetite. Each part of the soul has a desire, but they must unify to reach the point of justice. The balance of the three parts results in individual satisfaction, or happiness. The same concept is applied to Plato's ideal state. The three parts of a society, the rulers, the warriors, and the workers, must cooperate to reach happiness. The parts of the soul and the parts of the society correspond with each other. The reason mirrors the rulers, since they both desire the well-being of the entirety. The spirit mirrors the warriors and their desire for pride and competition, and the appetite mirrors the workers and their desire for the simpler aspects in life. The harmony that can be achieved by the three parts of both the society and the soul result in justice and happiness. Therefore, the balance should be a goal of the individual. The development of Plato's political philosophy may be due to his family. His family was not only aristocratic, but he also had an Athenian statesman named Solon as a relative. Solon laid the foundation of Greek democracy in his time. Plato's interest in politics could not have been adopted from Socrates, considering that Socrates never chose to discuss government. His philosophy also developed from the change in his understanding of the soul. In his early works, he believed an individual made a choice purely in desire, but in his middle works, his tripart soul explained the different influences the part of the soul contains. Plato's idea of happiness and virtue also affect his political philosophy, since temperance and justice were main virtues in the time period. He incorporated these virtues into his doctrine by explaining the necessary balance and goal of individual happiness in his ideal state. Plato's political philosophy was a major influence on the Western world. Aristotle became a notable philosopher after studying under Plato. He later shared Plato's teachings through his student Alexander the Great, who spread the way of philosophy during his empire expansion. Plato's political philosophy impacted another philosopher, Plotinus, by creating a basis for Plotinus' spiritual cosmology. Plotinus adopts Plato's balance of three components into his Neoplatonism, Platonism being the beliefs of Plato. He believes there must be three basic elements to exist. Early Christians used Plotinus Neoplatonism as a foundation for their religion, creating their three entities, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Plato's political philosophy also influenced psychology in the West, with Sigmund Freud developing his psychoanalytic method. Freud's method is the division of the personality into three parts: ego, superego, and ID. Like Plato, he believes the balance between the three result in the well-being of the individual. And lastly, the resources used.